This is your weekend market review for Friday, February 14th, 2025. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review, Friday, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. Let's spread the love. Hopefully you had a good week. Definitely a week that I was not spot on with. Again, that's part of trading. Definitely stopped out of some positions. Definitely watched some positions. Is thankful I didn't take any. And also had, a good week of identifying levels to trade around. Again, so if you're trading the market, again, I still think it's a trader's market, even though we're making new highs. Just be on red alert. Like after the close on Friday today, Buffett sold 100% of his SPY and VOO positions. He bought more Oxy, bought more Siri. Again, I said on this, he's not going to lose in Occidental. But the point being is that this market, if they're truly going to cut spending, they're going to cut jobs. It's going to get really ugly, and there's going to be a transition period. And now, again, if you study the past, when you had massive fiscal deficits reduced, it's going to be GDP painful, and there's going to be a repositioning of the workforce. There's a lot of little things. Now, again, can they manage the triple Lindy perfect and nail it with a 10 and the market doesn't drop? Who knows? No one knows for sure. But again, to me, the risk reward, depending on the trade, the stock, the sector, is to the downside. With the indexes, certain sectors I think don't have much downside. Some are definitely due to get cracked. And so, again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room. We're going to talk about all of that as we always do. Appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. If you want to get involved, use the Calendly link. Chat me up 30 minutes. Let's holler at each other, see what's up. Let me know how I can help. Again, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out. Anywhere in the country, I can get you a great agent. The referral, you get 2 agents for the price of 1. And again, if you're need help learning how to trade, thoughts on positions, ideas, love to help out. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it on YouTube and the Twitter. Why can they just change it back to Twitter? Does anyone want to call it X? No, I don't think so. Again, posting trades, ideas, thoughts, you got it. And also, like I said, check us out on the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. You'll get notified when these are all come due, pop up. And again, if you'd like to donate, thanks button or links in the description below. Check out the website, tradingagent.com. Tons of resources, posting real estate stuff constantly, blogs on trading. Holler at your boy. All right, let's jump into it. We know the Fed Watch tool. I talked about this yesterday that, there's really nothing. There's no cuts expected this year now. But the data got worse with the retail. The retail sales data was absolutely dog-do. I mean, I haven't seen retail sales numbers that bad. But again, is that just a hangover from the holidays? Seasonally wise? 10 cuidado. So, knowing what we know, just be careful. Again, I don't think you're going to get any rate cuts unless what happens? You get some massive market weakness. And at this point, we haven't gotten it yet. But keep on mind, keep an eye on, as we talked about, the bond market. And are you trading it? You don't necessarily have to be trading it, but just keep an eye on it. So what do we know about Bitcoin and the rest of the market? So we talked about Bitcoin stuck. I hate being the bearer of bad news, but this is what happens after big up moves. We talk about this all the time. You need to digest. Now this is considered nothing. This is a neutral pattern. You're consolidating. This is why we talk about taking strength. The more you're up, the less you own, right? Defining your risk, trading around your positions. Because you get a great move like this, it needs to consolidate. Keep it simple, stupid. Now, again, you break below 92,000, 91, you got problems. You get over 108, you got solutions. You got upside. Just keep it simple, stupid. Oils we talked about. I think demand destruction is real. I think Trump is going to go to the Middle East and try to get oil production up. Again, we'll see what happens here. Drill, baby, drill. Ugh. I mean, again, I think everyone wants a combination of some sort of electric green energy, right? I mean, oil is the second most prevalent liquid on the planet, but do we really need to be burning oil in 2027 endlessly? Can't we have more nuclear power? Can't we have more alternative energy that actually is useful? I think so. So again, I don't want to get into that, but you get my point. Natural gas, as we talked about, long term, I think is a buy. Cleaner energy, easy to, again, they'll be exporting it easily in time. So let me know what you think. Let's jump into stocks. So there's definitely some stuff that's very interesting because we know the dollar today got bombed on. Well, actually, the last couple of days. We said it's probably come down to the range lows. Keep an eye on it. 200-day channel lows. Keep it simple, stupid. Bonds, we talked about this. Very sketchy going in front of the CPI, PPI, but look at the action, right? This is why we talk about, like, the first bottom usually gets some sort of the first pop gets usually a pullback. Well, that was a decent little pullback. We said watch this, if you bought bonds anywhere in here, set a stop at the mid 86s, 87 area. You held in tight, you're good, you're back up against the range highs. Now you got to watch the 89, 90 area. Think of this as a race. I don't know, a race. It's like there's hurdles along the way. VIX, sneaky close. I mean, all week is just selling. At least before we get like a little buy somewhere, you get the pop in the VIX, market pull back, and then market didn't even really pull back this week. I mean, credit where credit's due, where if you are on the team bulls, I was thinking Buffalo Bulls, but that's not really good. So look at the SPY today again. One of the probably the worst volume day of the year. A doji, tight action, up at new highs. Again, the headline will be new highs. Woohoo! Again, keep in mind, we talked about the seasonality of mid-February is typically a pullback. Q. Here you go. Breaking out over the recent range resistance, back at all-time highs. Okay? I mean, again, these are great areas if you want to act. Keep it simple, stupid. Again, you would think the IWM would be flying the last couple weeks. Nope. This bird landed in the blue zone of chop death. I personally, again, I don't really trust a market where the IWM isn't at least acting decent. This looks like dog schnight. Dog schnitt? Again, if you like German. I don't think that's a real word, but whatever. Here you go. Dia, same thing. Chopping around. Gold, you're welcome. We talked about monthly. Again, this is why, man, I don't want to seem like I'm always right. No, I'm not. I'm a probability-based trader. It's going to happen. You're going to lose, but you got to know where your targets are. You got to know where there's problems. You got to know where the fibs lay out. You got to know a lot of little things. And when the more you're up, the less you own. And when you start hitting points of resistance, you got to start taking some profits. Here we go. Hit the monthly upside. I know everybody and their mom this morning was going buku crazy for silver. Yeehaw, motherfucker. They're like, yeah, we're going to the moon. Where did we close right back in the blue range? Now, again, I'm not necessarily saying this is bearish long-term. I said I'm on record every call, essentially. You disappear from a year from now, silver, gold, I think will be higher. Today, can't guarantee that. Look at that. Look at that open. Oh, so fugly. GDX, right? We talked about the miners. They're trying to catch up. Oh, that's a bar that eats all those gains. That doesn't look bullish. GDXJ, right? Oh, it's looking good. Eats up a week and change of action. You better hold 50/80s. You better hold it. We talked about AEM being like the beast, right? Leading. Uh-oh. Making lower highs, now lower lows. At worst, again, this is my point. I'm not saying you necessarily need to go out and short miners, but don't be surprised if they pull back or they consolidate. It's the same shit like Bitcoin. It's a reoccurring effing pattern. AG, I think that their earnings got pushed back, but look at this action, man. A lot of volume down here. I'm not saying I know what's up for sure, but keep an eye on this one. Newmont, close at the low of the day on a Friday. No, okay, Friday. We talked about if you want to buy in the blue zone, set a stop. Said a year later, I wouldn't doubt you're going to be higher. I mean, same kind of thing. Now if we pull back, don't get crazy. You can start trading around your positions, even if it's just part of it. Learn to do it. Learn to trust it. That it's not. You don't need to be FOMO all the freaking time. Trust me. Pass hits the range highs, backs off. Good old Taiwan semi, going to be building everybody's chips. That's why they want to they want to move this to get their plant in Phoenix running. Keep an eye on this one, right? Again, I'm not bullish. I'm more bearish leaning, but if you hold the 100-day, it's tough to really trust it's going lower near term. Micron, again, this thing has been doo-doo. We talked about this is a big doo-doo pattern. Big, choppy, sloppy mess. Now you hold the range lows. Could you get up to the 200-day? If it does, cool. AM Dizzle, this one's a sneaker, right? Like everybody's bullish. I'm like, man, this stock could get absolutely throttled. Keep an eye on it. You got to get over the 20-day. I'm not saying necessarily that we're going to continue going down. Like you're probably due for some back test, back filling, or chop. Just like a big down move or big up move leads to chop. Sometimes big down. Man, it feels like a capitulation, but we'll see. Get over the 20-day, then we can talk again. Not to say that it will or will not, but that to me would get the bull's juices flowing, right? Get the bully going. NVIDIA. I don't know what to say here. I thought this was going to be the Chrome is short, but then again, I mean, this is why I love where people give different opinions. Like Jizzles is like, Is this thing going to rally into the 26 on the earnings? It's always possible. I mean, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green days. Could we fill the gap? I mean, that's always possible. Again, I'm trying to figure out where the best place to short is. I thought it was going to be here, but then the candle yesterday didn't really give me confidence. And then today's open, I'm like, well, shit, we're over the 50, 100 day. I can't just short blindly because we're in the gap. I don't know where we're going. So I do like the short on this, but I'm probably going to wait for some sort of formation where we get tired and we retest, because this is what I was looking for. You know, pull back, hold the 20, some sort of retest, but then we closed above it. I'm like, man, it's making a higher high. That's technically up. And then we gapped up today. Why would I chase the short? Again, unless I saw some sort of intraday bearish formation, I didn't see it. SMCI, man, this is a wild bugger. We talked about is due to bounce. You know, again, I don't trust that they can fire all of their people doing the auditing and just say their books are good. I mean, I thought they were going to get delisted. Who the hell knows? I mean, this is an absolute crapshoot. But if you're going to rise, 200-day makes sense at this point. Keep it simple, stupid. Intellectual property, we talked about if it was going to hold 18, 19, it could bounce. Probably a 200-day. Again, I'm on record. If it gets bought out, it's not getting bought out at a premium. I can promise you that. They have nothing that makes anyone feel like they need to pay a premium for this company, because look how long it's been acting like shit. The longer people wait, the more money they lose, the more they're less competitive, and they need help. 200-day, again, if they get bought out, it's a charity thing, hoping for tax breaks or some sort of tax benefits. I thought it would get sold for 21 to 22. I guess that's wrong, but fine, 24, 25. Okay, again, if you bought, we talked about it, great if you bought at the bottom. But if you've been one of those suckers who's been holding it for years, I pity the fool. I pity you guys. But again, I hope it rises if that's what you want. But this thing's a dog, man. AVGO, Broadcom. You could have bought Broadcom. I mean, this one's interesting. Cannot get over the 230s. SMH just pops and then chops today. Again, this is such a huge freaking gap. Yeah, I don't know where it stops, but this is one just keep an eye on. Again, if you like the stocks that's in the 18, 19, 20 area, I think you'll be fine. Adobe, we talked about this one bouncing. If the 20-day held, okay, cool. Watch it. Apple, I mean, they're doing deals with Baba and AI. It's like, dude, really? Okay. Again, I thought the 100-day chop, and this is, again, here's me admitting I'm wrong. I thought this would hold for a good place to short. I thought that was the candle right there. Took a little trade, got stopped out, and I'm like, well, fudge me. Where next? Close over the 50-day. I mean, how do you short that candle? How do I short this candle? Again, I can't. There's nothing saying like, wow, it's showing me some chop. So I'm going to wait for the high somewhere in the 240s, watching it. Amazon, keep it on it. Gaps down, chopping, 50-day, not really acting that good. Meta, I know people are like itching to short this. I get it. Again, show me something to short against, right? I mean, I've done this before. I've tried to pick tops. It's not easy, right? I can only pick tops with like a 30% accuracy. So I'm just, momentum names, don't do it. CRM, they usually go higher and lower than you think, right? Double top, 100 days key. Guggenheim, right? Next level chips, not acting great, but you are holding support here in the 180s. Microsoft, this thing's been just nothing, man. Nothing. Keeping on it. NDAQ, talked about this one, right? I mean, I think you could double top short, held the 50-day. Interesting action day. When the market was up, it didn't really do too much. MicroStrategy, this is where, again, we've talked about if it holds this 320s, it could pop. 20-day hit. I mean, this is very tight action. Very tight action. So, again, this is that trend line. I mean, if it holds, I don't know why you couldn't get back up into... back up into 390s, 440s. Again, this is why we talk about the big up moves. If you don't take any freaking profits, you're due to get caught in the chop pattern. We are in the chop pattern. If you learn anything from this video, leave a comment. Chop pattern. Again, even if you remind yourself, chop patterns. Netflix seems to be holding up. Can't short this one. Thought this might be it. Had a day trade and then bopped out the next day, but nah. Nope, not eyeing this. Again, this is where it's hard, right? I mean, I don't trust this shit at all. But I'm also not going to sit here and go, well, I'm just going to stay long or I'm going to stay short. No, trade it. Trader's market. Some things acting better than others. And again, like if you want to own those Netflix and keep riding them, you go right ahead, my friend. PanW, This one's interesting, right? Look at this gap down today. Rally's back. Man, it's holding the zone. I mean, I told you I like this long term. Don't trust it, but hey, because it's not that I don't trust it, but I like cybersecurity, but I expect, if the market pulls back, that'll come with it. Tesla, we talked about this one due to bounce. You're welcome. You're welcome. We said the 100-day. You hit the 8 and 10-day. I mean, clearly there's some sort of effect on Tesla based on Doge and all the other crap. I would be watching for this downtrend to touch potentially. Tesla's a very good stock to trade trend lines on. I'd keep an eye, 20-day trend line. We'll see. Insight, again, talked about the stock getting bought out at some point. Again, pulls back. Great. HIMS. Here's an example of not jumping in front of the train. We said you had a reference if you wanted to short. Said if you touch the 2 times range, watch it. This is where it was like red a fucking alert. And this is where you actually could have gone long. And congratulations if you traded this. Like when you closed above the 2 times range and then we gapped up the next day, that was the sign. Get out of the fucking way. Because again, gaps after resist, like when you hold a resistance area or support area and then you gap above it, it's typically, again, with a high shortage, it's a squeeze on. Now today's action, now you might have a reference. Again, we'll put an arrow, see what happens there. Makes sense? Keep it simple, stupid. Palantir, right? This one's step in front of this one. Okay, no, sir. But we're at it 2.618. Well, again, we're trying to zoom in. We'll see what happens here. Personally, no positions. McDonald's. Chopping after it gapped up. I mean, we talked about this one holding the 200-day, but going nowhere. Okay. Is high and tight's bullish. I mean, keep that in mind. I don't know why you wouldn't fill the gap, but we'll see what happens. You've got a multi-day range. Like, think of this as like the same thing as HIMS. What if it gaps over 310? I don't know why you wouldn't get up another 5-10 points pretty damn quickly. DKNG. Now, this is, again, I like the short on this, but here is the ultimate humility that you have to have in trading, right? Let it run. Look at this thing. Get squeezed. I mean, where would do you want to try to step in front of this after this action? Again, if you shorted here, you covered down here like we talked about. If you shorted here and got stopped out, you go, okay, well, do I want to stay on this train? I mean, I personally, again, I got stopped out. Am I frustrated? I don't really take it personal. I don't like it's a probability-based game. It's like getting pocket aces and losing and being mad about it. It's like then sometimes I win with pocket aces. Today's action, again, the gap up. I mean, I watched it and was like, let it run. Airbnb, here's another one. We talked about consolidating, right? Chopping, broke the 200. I say, what happens if we break the 200? It could probably get back. Wow. And then we bounce. You zoom out. Like, this is a big pattern. I'd be watching how we come into this 180 area if that's what it's going to do. I mean, you're going to have to watch 170 first and then 180s. Again, no position, but just watching. Costco, we talked about this one. Head and shoulders somewhere up around the, fib extension. Oh, are we getting it? 2-day range. I mean, this thing has been on fire. Just keep an eye on it. Starbucks, I think this is an excellent short. But again, where XDiv today, like to see it break the 110. So just let it do what it's going to do. If it breaks out, cool. You need some sort of reference. I think that makes sense. FedEx, we talked about this shorting the pops and then covering the drops. Now you're at like the gap fill. I don't know why you wouldn't hit the confluence of all these moving averages. Caterpillar, we talked about the 200-day being crucial. It's under it. Something sneaky here. But here's the thing, right? If you want to play the bull, again, this is what I'm talking about. Like you can play bull and bear. Here you go. Here's your line in the sand. Breaks it, goodbye. Holds it, goodbye. You get my point? Deer, earnings, popped. Not bad, right? Gaps down on earnings, ripped right back. I mean, we talked about this thing's been fuerte. Que fuerte. Riding the channel. Keep an eye on it. Nucor, we talked about the commodity names all over the place. Just be careful with these. Personally, again, my favorite sector long-term is commodities. I mean, everyone's excited about them getting bought out. Okay, we'll see. I mean, again, that's the thing. Like, if the recession is coming, this is where it happens. Is before as the recession comes in, there's going to be a pullback in the market, pullback in potential commodity action. But then you have to be wary that, again, when the future cycle of regrowth will be built on commodities first, in my opinion. There's an under investment in it. I talk about this all the time. VALE, we talked about you want to buy this in the 8s, looking pretty damn solid. But again, just roll up your stops or let it set your stop at your entry and don't watch it. Said Arrow looked very sneaky down here. You're welcome. Again, if you're trading these, let me know. I always love to hear the feedback because, again, I'm trying to give you the best obvious trades. It made sense to get the bounce there, especially with the high volume. Cool beans. Now what? All right, keep it on it. CCJJJJ. We talked about this one. You know, uranium prices pulling back. You better hold. You better hold the box. Just keep it simple. Again, if you want to buy it here with a tight stop, you want to short it with a tight stop. Either way, again, you see how you take like the mind out of it. You get into the plane of just existence. It's going to do what it's going to do. CF, ag names, chopping around. 200-day this week. Again, I like ag names, I think, in time. New regimes, new ideas. I'm pretty sure, you know, there's going to be more demand for food. That's my opinion. NTR, same thing. When you say food, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, look at these patterns, man. They're big ass pullback and consolidation patterns. And once again, hopefully, I want to see the straight line pain move, then the rip back. I don't know if we'll get that. We might have just a chop bottom. Aeron, again, I love aluminum. Say that every video. Just big consolidation pattern. Leave it alone. XLF, talked about this one, broke, bounce back, holding the 20-day. Your guess is good as mine. Near term, it feels like a bull trap. Banks hold all the problems. Buffett selling his banks, selling SPY. We'll see what happens. JP Morgan, chopping the highs. Got some June puts that, again, if they go to zero, whatever. Morgan Stanley, I believe that these things will pull back. Chopping around. Bank of America, I don't know what they're doing after hours. It's chopping around. Yep. Again, 20-day. Goldman Sachs. Don't really have a lot. Again, 660. Why wouldn't this thing get to 666? These guys, they love their numbers. I'm not gonna get into it. If you know, you know. We'll see. I mean, it might all point to like a squeeze into that. Yeah, we'll see. Keep an eye on it. Carry. Thought about the thing was done. Toast pulls back, chopping around. Doji today. XBI. We talked about this being a risk-on name. Chopping. Jets. Again, in my opinion, I think airlines are going to struggle. Retail sales is going to show you what's happening here. Keep it honest. And if oil prices drip, maybe they'll do okay, stabilize, but I don't think there's much upside. I think the short makes sense. XHB, we talked about housing, doesn't really look that good. Chopping around. Oh, I didn't realize this. Northrop Grumman got pounded today. I guess the idea that the war is over, government spending down. Again, that's interesting. Keep an eye on it. Maybe buy the rumor, sell the news. Because again, I don't think we're going to cut that back in that government spend or defense spending. Or solar. Man, I just look at these and I go, oh, Sedge got a little pump. ENPH, dead for solar, whatever, I don't care. HYG, keep an eye on this one, chopping around. Let's finish off with the oil names. Again, we talked about oil being pretty volatile here. I don't want to short it. I don't really want to long it here at these positions either. We like natural gas long term. I hate the UNG. We talked about that. Talked about the KLD was the short. You're back at the range lows. Man, please take some freaking profits. You short in the 80s or the 50s, and like we talked about, you're dancing. XOP, this is where it gets interesting. Another one, right? We talked about the gasoline names lead. This thing has gone freaking choppy, bro. I don't even want to mess with this. We talked about, CVE being a really good long-term name down here. Makes sense. The 14, 15, but I personally I'm not gonna jump in on this one yet. Valero, we talked the gasoline names. Typically lead. Well, they started lagging again. It's like, son of a bitch. I don't know what to tell you. That's a little confusing. Same thing. NPC, BP, we talked about as a great trade identified by the Discord room. Jay Solstice and homies, we talked about this breaking the trend line. I don't know again, we talked about like this is a nice up move. It's gonna probably need to consolidate at some point, but damn, if you bought down here, again, this is where you could sell cover calls out of the money. You could manage your position. You could rotate into other stuff if you have to. ExxonMobil, we like this one long term, chopping around. I mean, I personally would just, if I was making money in certain trades, I would be all rolling it into Oxy and following Buffett on this one, right? I'd be selling puts on any major drop, knowing that he's always there to buy. I mean, he's literally there. Uncle Warren is always there to buy. That says something. EQT, chopping around, holding up at the highs. And last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters with 11% dividend. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. Have a great weekend. Be good. Peace out. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.